Welcome to the Dad Code Podcast. This is DDS, where real fans come for real sports talk and no BS. We are your hosts, Blake Melton, Bradley Newberry, and Matthew Big Daddy Parker. Tell me about it, Parker.
Still riding high after Monday, fellas.
There you go. There you go.
I'm just happy my team will not lose this week. They will take their victory and take a knee.
Hey, that'll be two weeks in a row. No loss.
It feels great to be a winner again after 399 days.
Jeez. Man, oh man, oh man.
Welcome to our NFL prediction show. We're going to start with our hometown team, the Tennessee Titans. They get to play at home again. The Chiefs come to town. The old Patrick Mahomes rolling in. To say the least, the Titans defensive backs are going to get tested to the max. We've got Tyreek Hill, who probably won't practice all week. Mecole Hardman, others. It's just do whatever they want, right? Against this defensive backfield.
I mean, maybe. I don't know. I mean, from week to week, it's hard to tell which team's going to show up on the defensive side. I kind of like Tennessee's chances if they play defense the way that we saw them play against the Bills. I mean, for them, I think it's all about, can we keep everybody healthy? Can we keep everybody out there? Can we put some pressure on Mahomes? Maybe, honestly, I think I might actually rather him stay in the pocket.
Yeah, and when we talk about do whatever you want to do against this defense, you know whose defense is worse than Titans' defense?
Oh, boy, the Jags.
No, well, yes, but the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah,
they're historically bad. They're awful, and Titans, as I mentioned in a podcast earlier, yeah, the secondary is bad. I mean, it's one of the worst in the league right now because of injuries, but the defensive line is getting healthy.
Yep,
Dupree's playing, Autry's playing, Landry's playing out of his mind. If we can get some pressure long at the linebacker, if we get some pressure on Mahomes, I know that's a big if.
Yeah.
But if we can do that every now and then, the secondary may not have to hold up for 6 seconds back there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm hoping for, yes, secondary bad. Mahomes can do whatever he wants. But maybe, just maybe, Big Jeff can get in there, bat one down, get an interception. Mahomes has been questionable about that the last
I was going to bring that up. If any other one of you could look up Mahomes, but we're seeing picks. We're seeing, as a team, the Kansas City Chiefs turning the ball over. So if the Titans
8 picks,
if they can just tip the ball up, because that's danger situation when the ball is tipped. That is bad news
in
for
the NFL. Yeah, it's horrible news. Yeah, 8 picks this year for Patrick Mahomes.
Wow, what in the world?
So yeah, I'm optimistic. I really am. I mean, like you said, defensive line is kind of coming on in a big way here lately. Finally getting healthy there. Maybe we can just keep them to a field goal here and there. We got to control the ball. The Titans do on the offensive side of the ball, and kind of limit the mistakes there.
Yeah, and I will say, though, that a couple of those picks, at least 3 of them that I can remember, are off the hands. Tyreek, man, I mean, just hit him in the hands and bounce to somebody else. And I like to use PFF when I'm looking at grades just so I can stay consistent. And if I'm comparing the quarterback grades, over the year, Tannehill is 86.5 and Mahomes 78.2. And where that really takes a hit is when he's under pressure. When he's clean, he's unbelievable. But if you can get pressure on him, it really, really drops off.
Honey Badger can't cover all of them. Yeah, A.J. Brown's going to come with a slant with his power. I don't know if Julio's playing or not.
Who knows? It's kind of just like, if he plays, he plays. If not,
then isn't it amazing? We keep talking about this game and we haven't even mentioned the king.
I mean, that's because, we just expect him to do Derrick Henry things every single game.
The Chiefs don't have a king. They don't have a running game of much.
I know. And I mean, I don't see this defense being able to slow him down one bit. I mean, and particularly the year that Derrick Henry is having, it's like, golly, this has the potential to be a big game for him.
They drafted a linebacker this year that's meant to stop the run, and they had Chris Jones maybe back this game, but I don't know that it matters.
No,
does it? Because he is having a season.
and we mentioned it a little bit ago. I mean, it sounds crazy to say it because we always are like, oh, this is the best game ever. This is the best,
Yeah.
But we really might be watching a run, the most dominant run in the history of football at running back. And it's, especially in this day and age, you look in stats back in the day, even in the 90s, there was 100 rushing yards, every single game from every single player. And now if you're not Derrick Henry, 70 rushing yards is a big game now.
Yeah.
And it's normal to see 130, 140 for him. He is on pace to run for 29 touchdowns. He's on run for almost 2,300 yards, both of those NFL records.
Yeah, and we haven't seen him do too much of it the last couple of games. Now he's catching passes out of the backfield and lining up on out wide, and it's like they're finding all kinds of creative ways to get the ball in his hands. And if that is the case, I'll take my chances with Derrick Henry against a defensive back any day of the week.
God, I love it when he's outrunning defensive back. I mean, it's not fair that he's as big as a lineman, and then when he gets into the secondary, he's faster than the secondary.
Yeah.
It really is it's crazy to watch.
It's funny. And I know you were at the game Monday. Describe to us kind of what it was like watching him with that 76-yard touchdown run, just absolutely running by everybody.
It was almost as good as the 99 one against the Jags.
Yep. Just saying.
Always. But you can see it happening. You can just, once he gets past that linebacker,
that's it. He's fast.
Done. It's over. 21.8 miles per hour. The fastest. This guy's 250 pounds basically. And he recorded the fastest time in the NFL. And he came out and said that even slowed up a little bit, that he can go faster.
I believe it.
Yeah, and the thing is people say it doesn't look like he's moving that fast. Well, that's because he's so much bigger than everybody. But then you see the gap between him and the defensive players growing, even though it doesn't look like he's moving that fast.
I think it is almost more fun to see that gap grow than it is to see a stiff arm.
No, man, that's a close one for me.
And he is just so much fun to watch. The Titans are the only team in the NFL that will run the ball when they're down by 14 to catch up.
Yeah, they're not afraid to. They keep going. Body punch, body punch, body punch.
That's a good point, because I did see this on the Monday Night Football broadcast. Look, when the Titans are down, what was it, after halftime, it doesn't scare Vrabel. I mean, he's like got the best record in the NFL when they're having to play from behind and coming back and winning games. This is a short week for the Titans, though. Any concerns with injuries on a short week?
Obviously,
or is it
who
the
knows?
Same injuries?
And we're kind of used to it at this point. We don't know if Julio's going to play or not. I'm sure AJ's probably better. He's just getting IVs from some food poisoning. Kudos to him for toughing it out, by the way, on Monday. That's anybody that's ever had food poisoning. I can't imagine running around in tight pants while having food poisoning problems, shall we say. So, starting to get a little bit healthier for Tennessee. That'll help things.
Have we heard about any O-line stuff?
I don't think we should plan on seeing Lawan back for a minute. I know he's in the concussion protocol. At least he was. He's probably going to have to be evaluated pretty thoroughly, since this is not his first concussion.
The good thing is, though, when Lawan went out, his backup came in.
Did the job.
Didn't hear his name.
Nope.
For the first game, we were on track to have more sacks than anybody in NFL history, or at least right in that area. 0 sacks against this Bills defense. That's supposed to be the best defense in the league. Saffold's also on injury report. Of course, Lawan's on it. I think, I don't know if Julio's going to play or not. I hope he does. Even if he's not, just the threat of him is going to make the defense have to pay attention to him. So injuries are a concern. Really, the secondary is bad, but everywhere else is getting a little bit more healthy.
Yeah.
And it's not just us. KC is injured also. I looked at yesterday's practice report. They had 16 players on it, including Tyreek Hill, who's not practicing. He's going to play, but he's not 100%. And Kelsey is on there with a neck injury.
Yeah.
He's going to play, but those with Hill's speed guy, right? With a quad injury and Kelsey with a neck injury, this could be one of those things that flare up. They're just something to really watch for him without those two guys.
Yeah. Honey Badger's on the list too, but it's just a thumb. I would assume he would play regardless of that. But Tyreek, all of them. Trey Smith.
They're going to have to play. This team is falling behind quickly in the AFC West. It's already panic time for the Chiefs, who are held to this high standard of basically Super Bowl or bust. So They've got to get healthy in this game. I think whether they're on one leg or not, you're going to see all the names in Tennessee suiting up for the Chiefs. And Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, I mean, they're already feeling the heat, Blake. And if they lose this game, which it wouldn't shock any of us if they lose the game because it's on the road against the Titans, but it's, my goodness, how much more heat can come?
I don't know. I think it kind of took everybody, including me, by shock on how much they're kind of struggling this year so far. I saw no end in sight to the Patrick Mahomes train and the Kansas City Chiefs just kind of running roughshod all over everybody. But now this is the NFL. Everybody's good. Everybody, their job is to get better. Their job is to win games, and everybody else is kind of raising their level of play in the AFC. And this is going to be an interesting matchup for them for sure.
And they've earned it because they keep winning games. But this they've earned the schedule. But their schedule has been absolutely brutal.
Yeah,
I mean, they played a healthy Browns team who was when they're healthy are very good. Mm-hmm. Ravens, Chargers, Eagles, Bills, and then Washington. I mean, it's other than that Washington game, it has been a rough. I mean, they're putting up points because people are talking about the offense not being as good. I know Patrick Mahomes has looked human, thrown some interceptions. They haven't scored under 30 points this year.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like they're not scoring. And what it is, I think they're not used to seeing the interceptions. They're not used to seeing dropped balls, like you had said with Tyreek Hill, just frying pans for hands, just popping the ball up and getting intercepted. They're not used to seeing that. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting to see. This could be one of those games that turns them either into a strong middle part of the season, or it could be tough sledding from here on out.
To correct myself, they scored 29 against the Browns. Oh no, no, they won. They scored 33. Sorry, they're wrong. No,
JK
24 against Chargers. That's the one I missed. But still, anyway.
Yeah. There you go. So, all right, I'll start us off here.
Yeah.
All things considered, yeah, I'm a bit of a homer here. We're fans. We're not insiders, whatever. The momentum that I feel like Tennessee has from their Monday night game against the Bills and the nuts. I mean, I guess the Chiefs are doing okay, but I mean, I don't feel like they have any momentum. I feel like there's a little bit of cause for concern there on the Kansas City sideline. Derrick Henry he continues to amaze everybody. Tannehill, for the most part, has just been steady Eddie, and we're starting to get healthier on the defensive line. I think all of that combined, I think that it's going to be a pretty close game. I think it's going to come down to another field goal for the Titans, but I think that they're going to pull it out. I think this is actually going to be 33-30 Titans.
I said for weeks that Titans were going to win one of these two games because this is what they do. And so my pick should be for the Titans to lose this game. Mm-hmm. But this is the type of game they will win and then they'll lose to Indy next week.
Yeah.
It's just what happens. And they play these high-powered offenses really well. I think that this is a little different of a game plan. I think we see a Tannehill game at the beginning of this a little bit. Mm-hmm. Some play action pass because everybody always is lining up to stop Derrick Henry, but it's just even to another level of that right this minute. But by the way, something about the Titans, want to talk about bad signings? Josh Reynolds.
Yeah.
Who I don't know why he's bad though, because he was good for
the Rams.
For the Rams, he was a healthy scratch going into that game. He is bad, anyways. But I think the Titans win this one. I really do. I think they're going to win this one at home. I think the crowd. I think they sold a lot more tickets just from that Monday night game.
I think that was the first time that this group has felt the juice from the crowd in a long time, and I think that they realize if we can put that product out there on the field. I mean, whether anybody wants to admit it or not, players on the field in those situations feed off of that energy.
They talked about it after the game. I think Titans win this one. I think they are going to have to score a butt ton of points, though. I think they're going to win at 38-34.
Yeah, I'm scared to death of this game on behalf of the Chiefs because I believe at the beginning of this year, advanced line was probably a touchdown at least. And I mean, it keeps creeping down. The Titans are showing they can run the ball. The Chiefs haven't proven that they can run the ball at all here. Home field, I don't know. The Titans do have the momentum, yes. With my analytical mind, I'm thinking the law of averages has to come back a little bit, right? Kansas City 30-24.
It could absolutely.
But if it doesn't,
wouldn't surprise you.
But if it doesn't, I would not be surprised, and I'm not going to shed one tear if Kansas City's out of the playoff talk.
And if honestly, if Titans lose this game, I'm not going to be that sad because if you would have told me 2 weeks ago, hey, you can have one win against Buffalo or Kansas City, and you're going to lose. I'll just be like, I don't care who it is, give me one of them.
Just give me one of them.
Give me one of them, and just to show you how much the public doesn't know or anybody doesn't know about this, I'm looking at the spread betting on this right now.
Yeah,
50% of the tickets for Kansas City, 50% of them for the Titans.
Wow,
more money.
This may be the best matchup of the week, and there's not many games at all.
They should be doing later in the year. They do those flex options for Sunday night games. They should be doing this earlier. This should be a Sunday night football game.
Looking at the lineup, I don't see why not. I mean, they've currently got the Colts at San Fran.
Who gives a shit?
Everybody wants
San Fran is going to go down there and beat the shit out of that loser Carson Wentz.
Everybody wants to see, including Parker, Trey Lance, and that garbage.
We're not going to see him though.
I know it's going to be Jimmy G. But no, I feel like this might be the most fun matchup.
Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
I don't see why they wouldn't have. This would not have been. You know why? It's because you're allowed 5 primetime games, and Kansas City already had 5, and they probably
so Kansas City screwed us.
That's probably exactly what it is.
And I'm predicting they screw you again, 30-24.
There you go.
No Jags game this week, as I mentioned, so they will not lose. We're gonna do one right here from my younger brother Brandon. We're gonna talk about the Las Vegas Raiders. This matchup is the Philadelphia Eagles at the Vegas Raiders. Interim coach time. What's he want to know?
Yeah.
Raiders, momentum. They're at home. Derek Carr, is he loved again by his coach?
I mean, I don't know about all that. All I know is, there were rumors with all this Gruden stuff that the players just refused to play for the guy after they found out all this stuff. And, we never know. They may have been subjected to all this stuff from the very beginning. Who knows? I mean, Gruden's a pretty awful person. So,
yeah, obviously.
But the thing is this is why whenever we talked about the Urban Meyer situation, you were worried as a Titans fan that you're like, I just don't want them to fire Urban before they come to Nashville, or we go down there rather, because that would galvanize the team. And I think that's what's going to happen here. I think that this Gruden firing is like, all right, we got our boys now. We got the people that we want to ride with. We got a coach that is going to, act like a human being and not like a piece of shit. I think this is a galvanized Vegas team going up against a Philly team that I think that they're gonna be able to handle.
They responded really well to Gruden being fired, which we thought they would. Yeah. We talked about that. In fact, most coaches that get fired midseason and they replace them, about 75% of the time they win. The problem with that is the second game, about 25% of the time they win, because it's a big, massive letdown spot. And I think
they're at home, so they got that.
They are at home.
They don't have to travel.
But I think we're going to learn this week if is Derek Carr the leader? Is this new coach the leader? Because it needs to be Derek Carr.
Yeah.
If it's Carr, I think that they can win this game, and it'll look awesome 2 in a row, because it just doesn't happen often. When someone gets fired 2 in a row, does just not happen. And if it is, then they're for real. And this was a great move that the Raiders made, bringing this other guy in. But it's going to be a close game. And without giving away my picks, if we were just picking this by point spread, this would be my lock of the week.
Oh, good.
Wow.
Because I just think it's going to be that close of a game.
Yeah.
Listen up, newbie.
Yeah. I think that you're right. I think this is Derek Carr's opportunity to put his foot in the ground and say, guys, let's rally around me. Let's get going. Let's make something happen here. Let's show everybody we're for real.
So we've talked about Carr a lot, but we haven't even mentioned Hurts yet. I mean, the quarterback or extra running back. for the Eagles.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to literally be the one with the ball in his hands all the time. I mean, the Eagles fans were cheering whenever they would just hand the ball off to Miles Sanders.
Yeah.
But they don't, I guess they just don't even want to run the ball, right?
They don't want to run the ball with the running back.
Nope.
No.
They had 3 rushing attempts like a couple of weeks ago. I was losing my mind because I had Miles Sanders on fantasy team. And you're right, they were cheering. And I'm sitting here looking at there's 72% pass.
with Hurts, and it's not like it's Tom Brady back there.
I know it's insane.
Or dare I say it, Matthew Stafford.
They are going, I think, you mentioned it, with the cheering of the run. I actually think Sirianni might change the game plan on this one a little bit. Because the Raiders defense can be had. It also can be had against the running quarterback.
Interesting.
I think we might see a little bit different of play calls here. Also, another reason that the first time coaches win, we don't know what they're going to do. It's the first time you ever seen this guy on film, and he gave the backup running back. He was passing it to him. That's something that Gruden never did. So you never saw that on tape. So now there's some tape on this guy and what he might do. I just think it's going to be it's a really tough spot that the Raiders are finding themselves in.
Yeah, totally agree.
Yeah, and to my brother, I hate to tell you this, I'm going with the Eagles here. I think Parker said it best when it's a high of having the interim coach in game 1, the fall coming back into game 2. Maybe they've had more time to actually think about what happened. I'm not saying that the Eagles are good because I think we all said the opposite in our NFC East prediction show, but I'm going Philly 24-17 over the Raiders.
Yeah, let me put this out there though. I'm cheering for the Raiders just because I've hated Gruden for years, and the more the Raiders win, the more I can just keep crapping on Gruden that he was the wrong coach. So I'm cheering for the Raiders, but it's just such a bad spot that it feels like to me it's Philly or nothing on this, and I'm taking Philly also. I really think I think your score might be spot on, to be honest with you. Just to do something different, I'll say 24-21. This is on Carr. This could be the game though that Carr like rallies the city behind him and just takes his team over.
Let's go, Waller.
Don't worry, Brandon.
Uh-oh.
I got you back. Vegas, your quarterback is going to step up for you. He is going to rally the troops. He's going to rally the city. And by God, they're going to beat the Philadelphia Eagles. 28-21.
Do it. Got to talk a little Raiders for
That's
you.
true. Hey, and if you're going by the betting public, you're going to be right because the public is usually wrong.
Yeah.
And 89% of the money
Uh-oh.
is on Philly.
That's too much. That's all that East Coast stuff, right?
So
Where all the smart people are.
yeah, I don't know what that is. But it's not good. It's too hot. It's too hot.
Whatever.
It's too hot.
Too much. It's underdog time where we
boy.
have to look at this horrible slate of games and try to pick.
Really horrible. It really was
It's
a horrible
pretty
list
bad.
of games for underdogs.
Oh boy,
It really was.
You've got 3
Daddy
games.
doesn't have any real strong feelings.
No,
today.
there are 3 games on here where it's double digit underdogs and
No, just almost double score. Like
3 scores, 15 points, 17 points. Oof. But we got to try to identify 3 teams that may win outright. And I don't know if any of us are confident
We'll see.
with these at all.
Yeah, we're reaching on some of these, admittedly.
So
You want me to go ahead? I'll go
Yeah,
ahead.
go ahead.
I'm going to go ahead because I think mine is the most absurd of any of y'all's. I'm going to go ahead and say it right now. The Patriots are going to fall asleep at home against the New York Jets.
Well, they just had a big game against the Cowboys, so maybe a little sleepy time.
I think so. I think Zach Wilson, he's just one of those kids that'll sneak up on you every now and then too. Chuck about 3 or 4 touchdowns down the field. And
That's just against the Titans.
is it?
He hadn't done that
Is
against
it?
anybody else. Nobody.
Hey, talk to me after Sunday.
And Patriots aren't unbeatable at home anymore. I know
They really are.
no.
They're not invincible. I mean,
They're not.
and we've already established that Mac Jones does not have really adequate tools around him. So it's kind of just going to, I don't know. I mean, like I said, this is a huge reach down here. Admittedly, I don't have real strong feelings about this. I'm just going to call for the Patriots to slip up here and fall asleep.
It could happen. I love them with the points, the Jets, but I will not be touching the money line.
But I do think you're staying with another New York team, right?
I'm staying with another terrible team. This is going to be 2 wins for the New York football teams. I like the Giants. I think the Giants to straight up beat the Panthers. I'm high on the Panthers, but they're at the beginning of the season. They start off 3-0, but they're just riddled. I mean, they lost their cornerbacks. They lost their obviously Christian McCaffrey. They've just lost a lot. I mean, it's hard to keep winning like that. And Daniel Jones, as much as I like to crap on Daniel Jones and everybody dislikes him, if you look at the metrics, he's the top 8 quarterback this year. He's actually played pretty well. I know a lot of his receivers are hurt, and then Saquon, it's bad for them as well. But yeah, I think this game should be closer to a pick'em, and it's more of I think it's a 3-point line. Let's double checking here. Yeah, 3-point line.
It is 3.
So yeah, I like the Giants to win this game outright, and I really like this line. The offensive ratings: Giants are 17th, Panthers are 29th. And Panthers defense with injuries is just really fallen off. And that's really the injuries is the main reason behind this.
Now, you were really high on Sam Darnold, too. Now, he's really fallen off the last couple of weeks. Do you have any metrics on the quarterback?
Yeah, he's looked bad. But again, I think a lot of it is he's having to do too much. They don't have the best, I'm not saying the best running back, that'd be stupid, but the best all-around player in football. Their offense is Christian McCaffrey. I mean, he plays 98% of the snaps. When he's clean, Sam Darnold has a 91 rating passer. When he's under pressure and they have some offensive linemen hurt, 55. He just – and he's not great. I'm high on him because I think he's going to be a lot better than what he was under Adam Gase. I'm not saying he's a top 10 quarterback, but I think he's an average quarterback. But an average quarterback that has asked too much to do of him. What are you going to do?
I pose this question. Does Sam Darnold miss when he's under pressure throwing the check down to Dan Arnold, who was traded to the Jaguars for cornerback C.J. Henderson?
Yeah, actually, he really liked Dan Arnold.
He did.
Yeah.
I know he did.
It was a weird trade. I mean, I know why they did it, just because of this injury situation. And they loved C.J. Henderson. They wanted to draft him. So I get it. And they're loaded. Really, they do have a lot of receivers.
Yeah.
But... yeah, that's where I'm going with. I think I'm putting my trust in Daniel Jones.
Okay.
Well, the old Jags fan and his underdog pick is going with the team that just lost to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Yes, I said it. I'm going with the Mighty Fish. The Miami Dolphins are playing at home against the Atlanta Falcons, who I believe are coming off of a bye this week. The Falcons are a 3-point favorite. Dare I say that the Jaguars showed the Dolphins how to win a football game? I still believe in Tua.
Could be.
I like their tight end. I don't like your running backs there in Miami. If they can just get maybe even just one of their players back in the defensive backfield to cover Calvin Ridley, for goodness sakes, I don't want to see him running all over the place because he's clearly in a wide receiver realm way higher than what the Jags had. And they just allowed the Jaguar receivers to have, what was it, Jones Jr., 100 yards?
100 yards
and a touchdown. So Ridley is in line for a big day, but I'm going to roll the dice, go with the home team, maybe a little red booty factor coming back home after a loss to the Jags. Little rebound, I'm hoping. We'll see.
All right.
I like it. You got to keep them clean, though. Talk about people that stink under pressure.
Yeah. Not good. Best bet time where we pick a favorite or underdog just to cover the spread. Something that we put some money on here. I'll start. I'm going to Monday Night Football, and Seattle is a home underdog. We've got them getting 6 points at home against Jameis Winston and the New Orleans Saints. The Saints have had time. They've had a bye week. The coach is very good with extra time. Maybe it's a factor of, I think it's maybe just too many points. If I had to bet who wins, I would probably side with the Saints, but This, to me, it's got to feel more like a field goal game. Seattle went on the road and played well against Pittsburgh. I mean, I don't know that Pittsburgh's any good either, but they were predicted to get blown out in that game too, and they covered that spread. So I will take Seattle +6 if I was going to put any money on any of these games and just see what happens.
All right.
That's a good one. I agree with that one as well. I'm going to go down to an old rivalry here, Bengals and Ravens. I mean, Bengals are good, y'all. I mean, they're 4-2. Let me rephrase this. The Bengals offense is good, y'all.
The offense is good.
They're playing well. And my reasoning on this is it's simple as this. Too many points. 7 points is too many. Baltimore has been winning. Baltimore's good. Lamar Jackson is a difference maker. But they're pulling these games out at the end. They're barely winning these things. They're not blowing people out like they usually are. They're barely losing. They're pretty close. And Blake loves some Joey football, even if they're down 28-7 at the end. This Cincinnati team can score. Jamar Chase is the real deal. Higgins is good. Boyd is good. The running backs good. Mixon good. I mean, coach terrible, but but they can score, and I really like their chances. I think they have a chance to straight up win this game.
Keep it to within 7.
That's all you got to do. Bengals.
Yeah, a lot of really crazy numbers this week, and I'm going to take one of them. I think that the Rams are just going to absolutely destroy what I will call now the little pussycats of Detroit.
Oh, since the Jags won? So now it's officially the Lions.
Yes. I'm saying that this is not going to be a fun day in Detroit. I think the Rams are going to absolutely blow them out of the water. I'm thinking this is probably a 20-0 game, 21-0, something like that.
Remember, these two quarterbacks were traded for each other. What a storyline here.
And Sean McVay wants to make sure. I think Sean McVay's the biggest deal here. I think he's going to he wants to stomp the living crap out of Goff. He even came out and said, I don't know if it was on the interview, and he was like, yeah, I didn't handle that situation the best possible way when I traded him. He's like, we still have respected each other, but I could have done better.
Yeah.
And Goff. Dan Campbell called Goff out after the game last week, saying my quarterback needs to do better. He even paused and for dramatic effect and thought about what he was going to say. And I think Aaron Rodgers and people like that respond to that type of coaching. I don't know that Jared Goff responds that way. And even if he does, the rest of the team sucks.
Yeah, it's going to be tough sledding for Detroit for sure. And I think they're just going to get run out of the stadium.
Yeah, and think too, like Aaron Donald, he knows Goff's tendencies and things he can do, and Ramsey, he knows what he's looking for. It's going to be bad.
Yeah, totally. Yep, there you go.
It's in.
That's an NFL pick show. I don't know, dudes.
I'm scared of the NFL picks.
Usually they're pretty controversial this week.
Usually I'll say make money with us, but
you're going out on a limb this week.
Stick with prop bets.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, hey, thanks for joining us today for this, our NFL Pick Show. Be sure to check us out on Twitter at DDS Sports Talk. Tell us how crazy we are for making these picks. I'm going to tell you right now, I feel pretty good about the Titans. Out of all of them, I think the Titans might be the most reasonable one.
Literally was going to say the same thing, and that scares the hell out of me.
Absolutely.
That is the best game of the week. And I don't think there's a second close. There's not another one that's close.
Nope.
Titans game. Watch it.
Any parting thoughts?
Beat the Bills, beat the Chiefs, and lose the Colts.
There you go.
I'm giving an extra pick. Arizona 24-0 over the Texans.
There you go. All right, guys. Two-tone blue all the way. Tighten up.